Ladies and gentlemen, the internet has been known to be a very useful tool amongst various people across the globe. It has its pros and cons, especially among teenagers.
And today's teams seek to answer one simple question: will internet censorship help curb immorality among these teenagers?
This is the Great Debaters Contest Season 9, the Nationals. I am your host, Chris Boro.
And I am Esperancia Kapanga. In the proposition, our team today is from Kahuhia Girls High School.
And in the opposition, we have the gentleman from Meru School. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes to make your submissions.
As good as the sun is by aiding in the synthesis of vitamin D, it still produces the ultraviolet rays which are harmful to the human body. But thanks to the ozone layer, we are protected from these harmful rays. Now that is the same with internet. Internet provides us with good content, yes, but still it contains harmful content, and through internet censorship, we are going to be protected from these harmful content. Celine Wakanyi, Kahuhia Girls High School, proposing the motion that states internet censorship will help curb immorality among the teenagers. Internet censorship is the ability to restrict specific websites and online content from being viewed. It may come in form of an edit, a regulation, or a law issued by the government. Curbing is doing away with something or limiting something. Teenagers are people of age 13 to 19. Well, the presupposition of this motion is that teenagers are immoral, yes, and that the internet has played a major role on this immorality. The advantage of allowing internet censorship is that the content which is violent, obscene, dangerous can be immediately blocked. This will protect the child and the teenagers from viewing harmful content that has made its way to sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram in the recent years. Now, human beings are very influential, and this is the 21st century where almost everyone is living in the digital era. Teenagers are interacting with their gadgets, and there they find social media. Social media then serves them with people of different personalities, such as celebrities. Now, according to a research carried out by Crystal Ayers, it shows that 73% of the celebrities on social media have fake profiles. Now, the lives portrayed by these celebrities on social media is far from the actual lives that they live. But the question is, how many of these teenagers know this? Most of the social media users, especially the teenagers, they take whatever they see or hear as the gospel truth. And that is why most of the partakers in sex trade, especially in the third world countries, are teenagers, thus promoting immorality among the teenagers. Celebrities, according to www.vitana.org, have promoted bisexuality, homosexuality, and transgender in their own countries. A very good epitome of this is Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner. Now, he, or I even don't know what to call him, has promoted transgender in his country. Now, do you think that our teenagers need people like this? Internet has played a major role in engaging such acts. Now, internet censorship will and should be implemented in order to save our teenagers from these snares of the internet. Thank you.
First proposer, you have 3 minutes to make your statement.
I carried such a big book to explain something that will be done so well. I agree with her, every definition that she has given, according to the motion, but there's only one thing I'm against. She's talking about immorality as being something else, but I believe that immorality is anything that goes against the society's values and virtues. So, she's talking about the lives of celebrities being negative selling a negative thing to the teenagers who, according to the internet itself, are guys aged between the age of 13 and 19. Now, she's talking about these celebrities being immoral. Okay, I'm a celebrity, but I don't think I'm immoral. Like, what is immoral to her cannot be immoral. What is immoral to her might not be immoral to me. You see, being immoral, it's a choice. It all depends on how you take things. Now, for a Muslim lady, uncovering a portion of her body like the hands, the eyes, the legs is immoral. But is it immoral to other Christians? No, it's not. Talking about homosexuality, same-sex sex, it is immoral to her and to what she believes. But what about to other people out there? What about other people like pagans, atheists, and other people who don't have same beliefs like she does? These people are simply selling us to neocolonialism, making people believe something that a group considers as immoral. You see, what is immoral to one person might not be immoral to the other. Homosexuality being exposed through the media. So, immorality affecting those people between the ages of 13 and 19. According to their world Wikipedia, we have 150 million children, street kids. These people, 92% of them are on drug. 92% of them are served with phones, but only 15% of them have working phones that are connected to the net. So, I'm wondering if she thinks that immorality can be controlled by internet censorship. What about those other people? What about this great percentage that adds up on this 92 minus 15? What about that percentage? What about that percentage that is not served these phones? What about those other people who have different beliefs? We cannot be sold to something that some people think is immoral. So, by saying that we should go according to what the government thinks or views as immoral, we're in one way or the other bringing up inequality, going against a particular segment of SDG 10. We want people to make their own beliefs, know what is immoral to them, and to believe that, yes, this thing is immoral, and like judge things according to their own beliefs and social norms. So I want to conclude by saying immorality is a choice, and internet censorship is taking away freedom of choice. Thank you.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
Benjamin Fields, an internet researcher, has currently said that if the internet is going to be our identity as a society, then we are a society in a crisis. I am Momoya Wanjiko from Kahuhia Girls High School. Proposing this motion, internet censorship will help curb immorality among teenagers. Now, my worthy opponents, it might interest you to know that according to the standard 4th January 2019, out of the 73.4% of the teenagers who have phones, 51% are Android, which just says that 51% are connecting to the internet. Again, let us look at this story. I lost my best friend, Lade Chiduma, on 23rd September 2017. It might interest you to know what made her die. So the previous week before she died, she had posted some photos on her Instagram page. And of course, you know, as usual, people went up on her about her body size and shape. And the next minute, you know, Lade is gone. So yes, not everybody might end up losing their best friends in this room, but I am so sure in this room there are parents. Do you want to lose your children the same way I lost my best friend? Only through internet censorship will we achieve a healthy society where teenage deaths will be minimal. Again, the internet is slowly eroding our morals and emotional intelligence. Banana minayo basi tunabakana. Common lyrics from a common song promoting rape. Rape, which I understand, is forbidden in the Bible. Asia, my friend, was telling me in the Quran, and in fact in the Constitution, in the Penal Code, clause number 14, section B. So now I am not understanding how we will continue allowing our teenagers to access this kind of information, and you still want to achieve some SDGs like number 3, good health and well-being, while HIV is out there being spread by the same teenagers simply because we have given them the liberty to access the internet. Again, the internet is eroding the consciousness and morality in people. Nowadays, I had rather watch you roll down those stairs, actually, as I take a video of you so that I can get a big following. Oh my God. I mean, instead of just coming and helping you up, I'm busy taking a video of you. How humane. Again, I had rather actually watch you die from an accident instead of I call the police, as I take the video of you, by the way, and still post it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she died like that. Now I'm not understanding this. I do not even want to try to compare myself to Nelson Mandela when he said that peace is precursor to success. But I want to say that humanity is precursor to morality. Let us first of all curb, or rather censor this internet, so that we can cultivate humanity, which of course will invite morality directly. Call me Machiveliak, but internet censorship will help save our teenagers. Or is it? Food for thought.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
A wise man today quoted Albert Einstein by saying, if you cannot explain something to a child, then you have not understood it. Let me break down the facts for you. What you consider immoral, I don't consider immoral. What you might consider immoral, he might not consider immoral. They have said, there's a song which she has quoted. I don't listen to Kenyan music, but I don't believe it's immoral. Well, there are lyrics to show that a certain man and a certain woman love each other and they engage in normal acts of love. You see, immorality, as much as we want to put it out there, it's a very big word. It's only pornography or sexual material. Immorality is from a child, from growing up to you now. What do I mean? When you interpret something as immoral, I might not interpret it. She has interpreted the song as immoral. I have not interpreted it as immoral. Should you censor the entire thing? Cut it. Remove the music. As in, look to your playlist right now. Tell me one song that does not have any sexual content, apart from see you guys, I'm sorry. Tell me one sexual contact. Do you find it immoral? I don't. Okay, somebody has been talking about Caitlyn Jenner. I'm sorry to say that you might actually be arrested today. And you know why? Because that's defamation. And Judge Odunga, as reported by Daily Nation on July 21st, 2019, in his ruling to make Andrew officially Audrey in Kenya, but you know that's transgender, he said that transgenderism is a minority group and should not be discriminated. So by calling Caitlyn Jenner an immoral person, you are actually committing a crime. I'll give you a number of a good lawyer. My dad is a very good lawyer. He might help you out. But do you need the stats for the number of teens on the internet? Because you're talking about the internet as if every teen in this room has internet. Let me tell you, Kenya is a developing nation, and you're talking about 51% of teens. We're not in the USA. We're not in Britain. Okay, tell me, little Brian in Kibra, his mom has, those mobile phones are very irritating when you're in a matatu and somebody's like, the phone is crying, or I don't know what you call it, it's ringing, and you don't even know what you're going to do. You want to beat them up, but she puts it in her sack, in the pouch. I don't know if it's a pocket there, it's an adaptation, I don't know. They put it somewhere there, and does that phone access the internet? No, let me tell you, according to their World Wikipedia, which is a charity organization supported by Julie Gishuru, which is a patroness of this club, 150 million street children are in the world. 92% of them are on drugs. But only 15% of them have access to these phones. The phones I'm telling you, they put it here. Now, only 2% of those phones access to the internet. Drugs, according to me, is immorality. Do you want to tell me every teen? I'm telling you, censorship is pointless. Okay, censor the song. The songs, they find it immoral. Censor it from the internet. Won't we find them in the radios? Won't we find them in our televisions? Have we done away with that concept of immorality? Censorship is pointless. Thank you.
The proposers have been asked. Yes, internet censorship may help to curb immorality among the teenagers, but what about the factors outside of the internet that influence decisions that teenagers make? How do we deal with those that lead to immoral problems in the society? The opposers, on the other hand, have been asked to define their stand regarding morality and immorality. Where do they draw the line? Third proposer, you have 3 minutes to respond.
There's something at the back, but then don't look. What have all you done? most of you have turned. These are the kinds of teenagers we are rearing in our society. You warn them what is forbidden and they will run for it. That is why I strongly propose the motion that states internet censorship will help curb immorality among teenagers. Now, to answer the question asked, I would like to inform you that 92.86% of the youth are affected with immorality because of the internet. Are you going for the 8% who don't have access to electricity and leave the 92.86%? Obviously not. You can provide good parenting to these teenagers. You can mentor them. You can provide sex education. Now, my brother, you say that we can ban the songs. Yes. But you still have them in your playlist. I mean, come on. If you play them, my brother, you have to be arrested. Get that, please. The gentleman here. I mean, who here you love a girl and you're ready to rape her? I mean, come on, get serious. Because I think if you love a girl, are you ever going to think of raping her? Obviously not. Now, there have been rampant complaints about teenage pregnancies. And to inform you, 18% of these pregnancy cases are caused by the proliferation of the mobile phones. Are we just going to sit down here and assume that internet is doing nothing? Come on. You say that how you define immorality is not the same way you are going to define immorality. To inform you, what the society finds immoral, almost all of us will find it immoral. Now, to give an example of the ebook, there have been books that have been published, yes. But the internet, they multiply the number of the teenagers who read these books. I mean, come on. Who would want to sit here and watch the teenagers die, and yet you claim the teenagers are the leaders of tomorrow? According to www.opg.com, there have been 25% increase of the number of girls that die after the release of the song Taka Taka. I'm so sure most of us know it. And it was banned after people have listened to it. I mean, a moment of silence, my audience, to this 25% of girls, yet you still have the audacity to stand here and say that we should not censor the internet. I mean, the internet is cheering my future, cheering the teenagers' future, and yet you claim the teenagers are the leaders of tomorrow. Get serious. I am a teen. I am joy. I'm a little bird that has broken out of the egg. And all I need is to be protected from the vulgarity of the internet. And you can do this through the censoring of the internet. Chepkoech Birgen, I rest my case. Thank you.
Kahuhia, you have 3 minutes to respond to your question.
My name is Victor Danjoroge, and I'm here concerning the issue of today's motion on immorality. Now, I'll start with the question. The morality aspect of life. What do you consider as moral? I believe morality is anything that concerns strict following of the virtues and values imparted on you by your family and the social background that you come from. Immorality is the clear disgrace of these values, and also it is against the law. For example, drug taking, trafficking, and peddling. Now, I'll start with the first proposal. I don't believe all teenagers are immoral, as she has said. I am 19, and I don't believe everyone in this hall is immoral. Also, I'd like to conclude that biologically, human beings are not born from eggs. We come from sexual reproduction. So, I would like to progress to the motion in hand. censorship cannot solve these problems. She has talked about the Takataka song, but I do not believe that song was only progressed through the internet. I believe there were CDs and other media that progressed this song. So, if you only deal with the internet, there's nothing you can do because humans, as she has just stated, we have a tendency to do what we are not told to do, to go against law. So, I believe even if you apply this censorship, according to awaretheory.com, there are methods to bypass censorship, such as changing the language, using an IP address instead of your URL, and other numerous methods by which you can bypass this censorship. So it becomes kind of pointless. Also, according to Haaretz.com, most Muslims believe that homosexuality is wrong. But this homosexuality is not only spread by the internet. You cannot tell me that you can change a person by just blocking a means of him to express himself. That's a freedom of choice. If you just go and block the internet, let's say for a porn addict, don't you think this porn addict can get other means to satisfy his addiction? I believe the right way to go is to set up rehabilitation services. According to awaretheory.com, there are also numerous ways. For example, the ranch situated in Tennessee in US, they offer sexual consolatory services to porn addicts and other people like that. So I believe instead of censoring everything, you can allow the internet users to decide for themselves what you want to use, when you want to use it. Thank you.
Proposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
Social media and basically the internet is the Sodom and Gomorrah of the current society. Now fire and brimstone rained on Sodom, and the only way to salvage the current society is through internet censorship. Countries have tried it, and let me tell you, it has worked. China has tried it, Egypt has tried it, Iraq, Iran have tried it. Now who are we not to try it? I mean, this is the 21st century, and we are all living in the digital era. These are not the times where we have heaps of books. Internet has only come to accelerate the rate of immorality in or among our teenagers. It is high time we get the facts right and we say that a spade is a spade and not a big spoon. And the spade here is that internet censorship will help curb immorality among teenagers. I rest my case.
Opposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
You know, God gave us life. God gave us life, but somebody did not give you keenness. You see, I'm keen, and that's why I can tell you that Judge Minor is wearing a black shoe with some white stripes. I can tell you the beautiful lady is wearing a blue shoe. I can tell you that there's a coffee mug between Judge Minor and his fellow judge. But you see, you're not being keen on effects of censorship itself. We have said it will infringe upon the rights of people, the right of choice, right of expression, right of media, right of speech. But let me just give you one example because of shortage of time. A Chinese priest by the name of Joseph Weng Hu was arrested and imprisoned for 15 months for just liking a post that said, "May God keep the Pope." China called it immoral. They're telling us about Egypt, Afghanistan. I've just had Arab nations. Are we the Taliban? Are we Afghanistan? Are we... What are we? Are we Al-Shabaab? By the way, I fear maybe they're like some voodoo guys who want to infringe upon our space, our right of choice. We have shown you that censorship is useless, it's pointless because there are other medias. Tell me where you got your statistics. And besides, this is littering, and my dad might help you because the city councils are here in Nairobi are very bad. So like this is littering, I'm sorry. Collect them after this. Yeah, censorship is pointless because we have other medias. They have not given us any start on any immoral act. Tell me, have you had one immoral act and how it has been solved by censorship in any country? Thank you.
To the ladies, I think the first speaker, you're very strong. Your presence is felt, and I think you started off your team well. Wanjiku, very passionate as well. I mean, very passionate. You made some serious statements and statistics. For example, you say that 51% of the teenagers have access to phones that have Android. So my question was, these are the phones. I don't want to mention them. These are the phones. Do they have access to internet, or is it that the phones that only have Android systems? So you want to avoid that, so that at least nobody can really cross-examine you. Good example on that song. But is it being propagated more through the internet? Then that's what you should say, okay? Because somebody will come and argue this motion then should be media censorship, okay? So you want to really show us how the internet is really pushing this agenda. Good audience connection though, and relevant examples. Chepkoech as well, I think what stands out for me is your passion. You know, we want to listen to you and the analogies and all that, okay? So keep up. My question to you is this: what is immoral? Because I felt like there was a very narrow definition of immorality from your ends, actually to both teams. We ended up just discussing about sex and, you know, some songs. There's a lot of, it's varied, it's big. We have radicalization happening through the internet, is it? We have teenage pregnancies happening. We have cyberbullying. We have even murder through deception. Where are all these examples? So I felt like there was a very narrowed example, or view towards what we are calling immorality. And that cuts across both teams.
From Meru, is it internet censorship that will help curb immorality? Or do we just need some internet literacy, for example? So it's not just a question of censoring, that might not solve the problem. Maybe we just need to, have some internet literacy so that then people or teenagers who expose themselves to the internet or who are exposed to the internet, approach it from a literate point of view. And so how we use the information that we receive on the internet, verify it and see what is it that we can take and what is it that we cannot, maybe would have been the solution. So for me, that was, I really struggled with this motion. It was not an easy one, I must admit, but I also saw that struggle with the teams. But all the best.
To our debaters on stage, regardless of the judges' percentages, a great man once said, every setback is a setup for a different comeback. And on this stage, to us, you're all great debaters.
Oh, Chris, it was deep. Kahuhia girls, the judges awarded you 69%. Let's give them a round of applause. Meru High School, with a difference of only 1%. The judges awarded you 68%, making Kahuhia the winners of this debate. Let's appreciate both teams.
Congratulations to both teams for giving us a good show and a good debate. Remember, it does not end here because the conversation is ongoing, live and active with the hashtag GDC for SDGs. Until the next episode, I've been your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperancia Kapanga.